just doing a video on creating distance from your thoughts. So it's interesting because you can adopt this idea of a me that needs to get rid of thoughts or needs to create distance, which is perfectly understandable because the experience we're having is that thoughts are coming in, or the thoughts are right in our face and we can't get away from them. So I'm just offering to see if we can recognize what's actually trying to get away from thoughts. Because it's the identification with thoughts that's causing the problem. Because there's this idea of an I, a me, that's thinking these thoughts, and I just can't stop my thoughts. That's the experience that's being had. But in reality, thoughts are appearing and disappearing. I think we can all recognize that they come and go. And that there's something that's aware of thoughts. So we can even report, my mind's driving me mad. I've got so many thoughts. The thoughts keep coming. They're attacking me. Now, all of those are thoughts in themselves. They're attacking me. My thoughts keep coming. Can you see their actual thoughts as well? So it's to turn our attention away from the thoughts. I know that can be challenging when we believe that we are the one that's receiving all these thoughts. So it's probably best to do some inquiry into who's actually receiving thoughts. And the way we do that is from being. So we can't be in the mental realm trying to work out thoughts, because it's just a never-ending merry-go-round of this idea of a me trying to get rid of my thoughts. We're just already entangled in the idea that I'm thinking them, they're mine, and I want to get rid of them, and why is my mind driving me mad? So we have to come back to this space in which the thoughts are appearing. And that isn't apparent when we're in the mental realm. So the way I always point to this space of just being is to either just have a little look at what's actually here right now. If I say, are you aware? There's just an instant recognition of being aware without going to mental activity trying to work out if you're aware. It's just this natural attention coming in towards what's already here. So that's quite a shortcut that anybody can do. Are you aware? And there's just an instant recognition that you're aware right here, right now. Now, what happens is we bounce up to mental activity. We limit this awareness, and this awareness gets narrowed, gets, just waiting for the right word, limited. It gets caught up in an idea of an I that's got all this information. So now it's in the world of beliefs, concepts and ideas. It's going to keep throwing up suggestions to try and label what's here. So there's this recognition of, I'm just aware. Are you aware? You just are. Right here, right now. There is an awareness of the sound of my voice. There is an awareness of the screen. We don't have to check the mind to see if we're aware. So it's to focus in on that natural awareness that's already there. And another way I point is to open the focus. So, because we have to be narrowed down. The attention to go towards thought, to go towards limitation has to be narrowed. So I offer this opening up to actually what's here. This sort of seascape, or a landscape view, the bigger picture. What's actually here if we open our focus? And there's this sense of not needing to do anything or pick up a doer who's got to get this right. So there's just this natural sense of resting back in the body, of relaxing down out of the area of the head where we feel like this is where the thinker lives, this sort of extension, this rising up, this limitation of being, of awareness. So we keep it remain down, because when we checked, are we aware, it wasn't in the head. It was sort of in this chest area. So we use the physical body as a bit of a tool to recognize If we feel like we're caught in the head and it's narrowed, then we're in thought. If we feel we're rested down in being, we're just aware, effortlessly just here, then we're in being. And that's where we do self-inquiry. Who is caught up in thoughts? So there can be a belief, I can't get away from my thoughts. Now in being, without jumping up to a mind to work it out, can we find the one that's caught up in thoughts? Without adding words, with just recognizing what's here, we're met with just a space of being. The light of awareness shines on the fact that there's nobody that's caught up in thoughts. Yet the mind wants to report on it. But it's to be determined to stay with what's in reality, what's actually here, what isn't a thought or a concept or an idea. And that's to just check. Who is caught up in thoughts? Can we actually find that one? We remain down in being and we look. And we keep looking. We're faithful to this awareness, to this alert, awake intelligence that's already here, rather than the dominant mode of experiencing that we're used to, which is mental activity. So we stay rested down and turned in. We're aware of just the space that's revealed. And that space, that silence, is the answer. There's actually nobody caught in thoughts. And this is how the sort of house of cards of this idea of a me caught in thoughts starts to fall. Because we have a very strong statement. My thoughts are driving me mad. But can we find this one in reality? Right here, undeniably. Not a concept, not an idea. Where is this one that's being driven mad by thoughts, that can't escape its thoughts? In reality, where are they? And when we can't find them in reality, there's some chance to see there's something not quite adding up here. That there's a thought offered up of this I that can't escape thoughts. Can you see? It's a thought. Now, once we start seeing through this idea that these thoughts are appearing and they're reporting about an I that we can't find, we've got the potential to see that they're just neutral, these thoughts, until we personalize them, until we claim an I, until we invest in those thoughts, this sense of an I. So you have a natural sense of I am, just here now. But that can become corrupted by this belief in an I that's separate and vulnerable and is at the whim of these thoughts. But we can also look at this space that was revealed. What is actually the nature of this space? Now, if we let the mind report, it'll say, well, there's nothing there. But it's just to have the determination to recognize the truth. If this is what's being revealed in absolute reality, how about just having a little look at what's been revealed without the mind reporting? And that's just to literally be with the space. You might want to close your eyes because it just makes it less distracting. And we just directly experience the space. By resting our attention on the space, we get to see that we get to sense that it's actually alert and awake, and that there's actual intelligence there. And it's spacious. And we can just explore all of these suggestions that arise without trying to think about them. Just keep diving into what's there over and over again. And that's you just recognizing your true nature. So when the thoughts arise, there's more space. Our attention is on the space, and we get to recognize that the thoughts are arising in the space, and they're arising effortlessly. There's nobody doing it. They're just appearing and disappearing. And they all seem to have a flavour of a me, because it's as if it's an algorithm. It's learnt what this idea of a me pays attention to, so it delivers more of those. It's learnt its beliefs, so the thoughts come in that flavour. But we're more interested in the space. To see that this is just a neutral space of being. The thoughts are neutral. Sounds are actually neutral until we label them. Sensations are neutral. It's just that we tend to label everything, and those labels have meanings, and that's how we create. So it's to be more interested in the space in which the thoughts are arising than the thoughts. And it's to see we can't actually find the one that these thoughts are arising to. So something isn't quite right. And so if that isn't quite right, doesn't quite add up, maybe we should investigate the space. What's actually here? What's true? To be more faithful to reality, to your direct experience, than these thoughts that just seem to come and go. So it's not to say the mind isn't useful, but we almost have to create it to experience it, because in being we can't actually find a mind. So there's just a few pointers to this space of being that you are. And we don't want to go and wrestle with thoughts because we're paying them attention, and that just fuels them, because they have no power without our attention. They're completely neutral. Until we create an idea of a me that they're coming to, and then that me's got to get away from them. Can you see how we write a story about a me? As soon as we identify that there is this I that can't get away from thoughts, we've got a little story now of an I that can't get away. But if we drop that and we look at in reality what's here, we'll find there's just space, just present moment awareness. Just be interested in this space, in the truth of your being, more than the ever-changing. To turn towards the never-changing, the abiding. To recognize the truth of your being, that you are this space. This space is impersonal. And it's always here when we look. So I hope this helps.